Hey, what is going on guys, Tech Enthusiast here, and this is my review of the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, is it still worth buying in late 2017? Find out in this review. Before we fully get into the video, here are the specs at a glance and the pricing. So you may have noticed other tech reviewers dubbing this phone as the iPhone 7s Plus, and that is mainly due to the overall look and the huge bezels, although Apple has claimed a new design. So what is that all new design? Well, that is the all glass back to allow wireless charging. Welcome to the party, Apple. Embracing one feature and getting rid of another. This very well may be the last time we see the home button and by extension Touch ID, unless Apple keep a legacy model in the future. One feature which has made it into this year's iPhone is called True Tone. Now this has already been available on the iPads, so what it does is that it uses the sensors on the iPhone to detect the color temperature of the environment you're in, and then it will calibrate the color on the iPhone display. So in certain situations the screen may look blue and on other situations a bit yellow. So what makes iPhone attractive to some buyers is that it's quite simple to use and to navigate, which is true up until you dive into the settings. I mean, the list looks long. I think it could have been more well organized. Camera settings can be found on this list, and honestly I don't know why it's there. It should have been in the camera app. Initially, using the camera app, I wanted to change the settings and I could not find it. I was swiping in different directions until eventually I found it in settings. With that aside, you have your standard camera resolution, but the highlight here is the video recording at 4K 60 frames per second, a first for any smartphone. Now at the bottom here, it gives you projected file sizes recording at those different resolutions. One of the biggest changes in iOS 11 is the control center. Apple now allows you to customize it to a certain degree. So here you have the standard toggles, the brightness and the sound slider. Here I have added the screen recorder, which can come in handy in certain places like troubleshooting. Once you finish the recording, you will get a notification on the top to show that it has been saved. At the bottom you can also quickly launch certain apps, and you can also launch the torchlight. The camera app is easy to navigate. All you need to do is swipe your finger or your thumb to switch between the various modes. So you have time-lapse, slow motion, video, photo, portrait, which I will touch on in a bit, square, and finally panorama. The dual 12 megapixel camera consists of a normal lens which has an f1.8 aperture and the telephoto lens which has a f2.8 aperture. The iPhone 8 Plus has a new feature called portrait lighting mode, where you can pick various lighting mode effects. This works best on an actual person, but the idea is after taking a photo, the iPhone is able to create a depth map of the scene and separate the subject from the background while adding dramatic lighting effects. Moving on to the photos, the iPhone 8 Plus has one of the best cameras available today. Now I've done comparison videos with the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 and the Nokia 8, which you can find on my channel. So this is a 1080p recording at 30 frames per second. Just pan it up and down. Just gonna have a jog, see how the stabilization is. Just out of the sun now. Come up to here and get the recording quality. This is 4K recording at 30 frames per second between the Galaxy Note 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. Okay, just gonna speed up now to see how the stabilization is. Pan up, pan down. Let's see if we can get a bit of zoom. And zoom back out. The iPhone 8 Plus is also one of the first phones to be able to record slow motion at 1080p 240 frames per second. The final feature I wanted to talk about is the augmented reality, or AR for short. This is made possible thanks to Apple's A11 Bionic chip. This can bring a whole lot of entertainment, but at the same time there may be some games where you may need more open space. Here is a typical example where some games may not come out the best. Now personally I would not recommend using it outside for safety reasons, and I am sure games will improve as time goes on. So is the iPhone 8 Plus worth buying? Well, the only thing it's going for itself is the great camera, being able to record 4K at 60 frames per second. Now if you have the 7 Plus, then I would say hold on to that. Anything before that, then yes, it is a worthy upgrade. But those of you who want bleeding edge, then wait for the 10. That is the one to get. Now I appreciate you watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if it's your first time here, and I will see you in the next video.